sets the kickoff.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. On 1st and 10, Prescott. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar.
Prescott's pass.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
He's on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Prescott from the gun. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
Prescott.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Tampa Bay.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Prescott's pass.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Here's Prescott. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to. Play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Block off a play action. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Carolina. Tyreek Hill, 82 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25.
With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
It's now 2nd and 6.
From the 29, Prescott. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 7 yards there and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
At the 40.
The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 3 catches, 58 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
First down, Buccaneers.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
A quick pass here to Godwin. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Come on, baby, we got to do our job. We got to do it.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull off, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Now a run with Edwards. And the Bucs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets him down to about the 4-yard line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal.
Throwing, Prescott. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Okay, every now and then my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think of.
Touchdown, Carolina! Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness? The first to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
At their own 25-yard line.
Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Buccaneers, nothing.
from the 29. Prescott. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Yards to go.
On third down, it's Prescott. Open man has got one. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Complete.
Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards.
And the Buccaneer first down.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory.
The ball carrier.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6. At the Panthers.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Joey Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Down. 3rd and 11.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering.
He's got the lane, and there he goes.
Oh, my
touchdown, Carolina. One of the best punt returns we'll see, 93 yards. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coaches, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
They run with Edwards. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen they can move the line of scrimmage.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. They'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Watch out for Hill on the return. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
The ball carrier.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. DeForest Buckner racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott, this complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 25 yards there on the catch and run. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down, Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
Prescott.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and long for Prescott. Dancing to his left. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On play action, Locke. They're going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
1st and 10. At their own.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
from the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They keep it with Barkley on first down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A first down carry for Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
And 12.
And again this time to the tailback. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. And now they're in the hurry-up. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the lead will swell by one more.
Set to kick off.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
Intended for number 45.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You run through it. You probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line. No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
12 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They look to throw. It's Locke. And he whips that one incomplete there. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. And that'll bring up second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Panthers touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The 25-yard line.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw on second down. Prescott is going to find his running back. It's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, they just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out.
And he will take it across for Panthers touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the night. And the Panthers have got it on cruise control. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
A second down throw for Prescott. Being chased. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Panthers have recovered.
Prescott on the keeper.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And to give this time to the tailback. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
6 brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Prescott on 1st down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 20.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
56. Mike, 56, right there, 56. You better be a
Prescott now. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because
the Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Joey Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
A gain of 10 yards. And it's third down.
Prescott. And that is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
The Panthers take over first and
Carolina getting set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Slipped one tackle, but no more, as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called.
At the Buccaneers.
Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But